G'day, welcome back to another session with the Nitty Gritty, and today I have the great pleasure of interviewing and having a discussion with Nicki Spence from Financial Design Group. Hey Nicki, thanks for coming along for a chat in the Mustang room. And here's Nicki's card, there you go, get the numbers off it. So we're going to talk today about Nicki's career in the insurance industry. So why insurance, Nicki?
I more or less fell into it actually. A friend of mine had got into the industry and I was at the end of my beauty therapy career. I'd been doing that for about 10 years up in Whangarei here. And he pretty much nagged me to go and, talk to him about this because he was like, you'll love this is perfect. And I was like, who wants to sell insurance? No, not me, I'm a beauty therapist. Eventually caught up with him, and as he kept talking I realised that was actually exactly what I was after. Really rewarding industry, although people don't usually have that perception. But yeah, it is. It's a really great industry to be part of. Incredibly challenging, incredibly frustrating, but really when it's right, it's right.
It's very right.
Yeah,
okay. So you talk about the challenges. What would be one of the biggest challenges when it comes to selling insurance in today's market?
When people know that they're vulnerable, they know that they could spend the money to make sure, not that they're going to live in the lap of luxury if something happens, but to just make sure that they can get through. And when they decide no, they'd rather save for a holiday, that is just, it breaks my heart, because statistically they'll probably be okay, but for the ones that needed that cover, that chose, that not that they didn't talk to someone, that they'd never met someone like me, but they actually made a conscious decision not to take that,
that's a bit scary.
That's heartbreaking.
There must be some statistic from memory that you insure your house. Most people insure their house because they don't want to lose their house. There must be some statistic on what the chances of your house burning down is 1 in 10,000 or 20,000, whatever. The fact is that this isn't a practice session. We only get one shot at life, and unfortunately none of us are going to escape one way or another. So life insurance, if you actually take it out and pay it, is going to give your family or whatever, your estate, a return, isn't it?
Yep, definitely. It's not that I'm getting into investment advice, because I'm forbidden to do that. But, if you've got a life insurance policy and you've chosen the type of cover that doesn't go up as you age, then you can say to your kids when they're of earning age, you can say to them, look, I'm still around, I'm still healthy and happy, but you know what, you guys can start paying for the premiums, because there will be a payout at some point. The world's oldest man this morning died at 112. He still died.
Two things in life, taxes and death.
Absolutely.
That's what I say.
Yep, absolutely.
Nicki, target market. Are you specialising in any particular group of people or anything like that?
I want to work with people that want to work with me, is the first thing. We have to get on well, because this is going to be a long-term relationship, But where I really have a passion is working with self-employed people and also farmers. I grew up on a farm in Nelson. I've seen how hard it is to do that. People talk about, farmers have this amazing lifestyle and they, go out and shift sheep or milk and then that's their day done. No. So, that's something in a group of people that are really close to my heart. But also because I've been self-employed for about 15, 16 years now, I've been through the hard times and the good times.
So you can cover, when you're talking about self-employed people, you're talking like also cover to top up ACC, because that's always a tricky one. Absolutely. Where you're self-employed, the builder falls off the ladder, breaks his leg or neck or whatever. ACC are only paying this much of that much, aren't they?
Yep, definitely. It's something that I can talk for hours about.
Okay.
So
we don't have hours.
No.
But it's so important to try and get that message through. If you're self-employed, guys and girls, you need to consider and review your insurances on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Because let's look at real estate, for example. First year in real estate, don't earn a truckload of money, but after maybe 5 years, they could be doing quite well.
Yep.
But their insurances aren't keeping up with their financial commitments.
Absolutely, yep, and I find that all the time. So one of the big questions that I'll ask, and it doesn't matter whether someone's single, in a two-person relationship, with no kids, with kids, you know, this, that and the next thing, doesn't matter. What they need to look at is, if I can't go to work tomorrow, how much do I need to cover not just my bills, but also things like food, and putting petrol in the car, and you know, if something happens to me and I'm single, then they've also got to be able to provide for someone to, you know, to pay
Look
for
after the
taxis,
kids
to
or
get
whatever.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really about covering everything that you're going to need to keep paying if you can't work. So.
And so, traditionally, life insurance was always sold to cover dad because dad's the worker. But we're in a society now where mums and dads, or husbands and wives, or partners and whatever, are both working. Not necessarily both full time, but they're both working, so they've got financial dependency on that income because they're working for a reason.
Yep.
Not just working because I can earn lots of money, but they're working because they need to pay the mortgage, need to send the kids to private schools or whatever it is.
Yep.
So it would be important, it would be fair enough to say that people need to make sure that both people in the relationship are adequately covered.
Definitely, yeah. And you know, as a woman, I see where we undervalue ourselves. If there's a lot of studies out there that look at how much it would cost to pay someone to do what the average mum pays, or what she does, and it always comes out over $100,000 a year if you actually had to put someone on an hourly rate to do all those things.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it is really important, if there's a main income earner, to really make sure that if they can't work, that there's enough money to pay those bills that they would normally pay. But also, even if mum's not working outside the home, because she is still working, it's still really, really important to make sure if something happens to her, there's enough money there to give options that, you know, there might be family living next door. Do you want family looking after you for 2 years if you can't work, or if you can't do things?
Or
maybe not.
Are they able to look after you because they might be working as well?
Exactly.
So
it's all about really getting to know people and getting to know their vulnerabilities, and then saying, hey, listen, this is how we can cover this, so that if big nasties happen, you've got options. Because it's not about having a certain amount of money, it's the options that money gives you. You know,
Cool.
do I choose a better form of healthcare because I've got the ability to pay for it, or do I have to wait on the public health system? You know, I mean, then you start going into medical insurance, and that's a science to itself.
Okay.
But,
We'll wrap up today, right now. We're going to do another session for tomorrow. So that's part 1 of 2 parts. So tune in tomorrow for more information about Nicki. There's her card right there. And tune in tomorrow and we will give you some more information about adequate insurances. Thanks, Nicki.